Hello, everybody. And there we go. Dun, dun, dun. Check out everything's all right. And put up the websites that I want. So let's check this. And so I will put a HF Underground, BI space. Okay. Jeff Underground for Pirates. Check out Pirates. Say we are the close to the shortest day of the year today. So pretty much winter starts in the northern hemisphere. I guess it's tomorrow on the 21st, but we're in winter propagation for sure. Priam, okay. And let's check out the IBI space in case we're searching frequencies. Here we go. Now, 9690 is back on. Spain on 9690 right now. And they're having probably some kind of soccer match or football match, depending on where you are. You can call it football. You can call it soccer. They got a game, for sure. It's Santa. Santa will be next week. Next week, Santa's going to be there. Everything looks okay here. So let's start this stream. So we don't have much snow anymore because it all melted with the rain we had. So now it's mostly green grass with a little bit of patches of snow here and there. Here. So, okay, here we go. Welcome to this Shortwave radio live stream. We are here every Saturday at 20 hours Universal Time. And we talk about radio. We have fun with radio. We geek out with radio. It doesn't have to be shortwave. It could be also radio that has to do with long wave, medium wave, with VHF, UHF, scanner radios. Anything radio actually goes here. So whatever you want to do. And so it's a place for everybody that loves the radio, that's for sure. And we'll be geeking out with that today. Incredible, but this is with this show, it's only 2 shows left before we already start the new year. I mean, going into 2026 very soon. It's pretty surprising and pretty amazing when you think about it. So, my name is Gilles. I'm located in Montreal, Quebec, Canada, northeast part of North America. and we talk about radio. We have fun with radio. We have a beautiful chat room with wonderful people that are just here to geek out and have fun. And it's just great to be here with all of these people. If you have questions, don't be shy. This is the best group ever. I mean, here is a place where it's safe and it's great, and people just are amazing. And we've got enough moderators to kill off a lot of people that would try to be bad. So we actually have a pretty good group here. And after this is done, well, we do have the Facebook group, which has 4,300 members, which is where everything continues. People, chat about stuff they're listening, radios they purchased, radios they have, ask questions, have fun, and so this is continuous. Basically, you have a full circle of places where you're always in contact with someone and can share what your passion is all about, radio, and have fun. So this is something that is cool. And I am going to be doing some some walk in the park videos probably with radio, and also geek out because I've got myself a drone. So I will be playing with that also in the next weeks. So I will probably bring the drone, bring a portable receiver with me, and mix both of them and listen to the radio, make radio videos, and of course make videos with the drone, which is going to be a lot of fun. So we'll have fun with that in the next few weeks for sure. So this is going to be really cool to try out. I did try it out in the house, which was not a good idea. It ended up bad, but it's going to be better outdoors, that's for sure. So welcome, everyone. Hope that you have fun today. Like I said, 9690 kilohertz. We have Spain back on their North America frequency. This is great because it really comes in well on that frequency. And if you're wondering, do they have English? They're supposed to have English on Wednesday. So Wednesday is when English is happening at, I believe, 23 UTC. That's when it's supposed to be. So hopefully this is going to be great. So Wednesday it's English at 23 UT. It's a 1 hour English program. There's also 1 hour French language for those that want French on Tuesday. So I'll be checking it out this week, actually, Tuesday and Wednesday, see if I can get the French and the English language broadcasts as we're going through the week. So for the rest, my DP666 is, it said it cleared Canadian customs. So when that happens, usually it's not that far off. So I crossing my fingers that I might get it before Christmas this week. And we'll be talking about it, making videos for sure. So I think this is going to be great to talk about also. So pretty cool. So going to be a lot of fun to check out. And with the holidays and everything, it's going to be fun. There's some special programming coming up. I'll be sharing some links once again about a couple of things, and I got some questions from a few viewers about an upcoming transmission and how we can hear it from the SAQ Grimton, Sweden, Alexander alternator, where they usually have every kind of every year, but several times a year usually they have a special broadcast, but every year they also have a special broadcast that's done on a very, very low frequency of 17.2 kilohertz. So we're going to talk about that during the show today, the different things that might be interesting for Christmas. I'll have a little shout out also to Texas Radio Shortwave. We'll talk about special programming coming up. So we'll have a few things that you guys can try and listen to and have fun with during this week. And hopefully you'll be tuning to bands and having fun. And hey, why not go to the Facebook group and hey, say what do you have and what did you hear it and did you listen to any of it? Are you receiving it? I think it's going to be pretty cool. So this is going to be pretty cool this week. Lots of little things we're going to talk about. So welcome aboard, everyone, and let's go and say hi to everybody in the chat room. By the way, if you want to join and do a contribution, it is much appreciated. This is what keeps this continuing. All the contributions and donations that you people are giving me through the super chat here. There's a little dollar bill. You can go and check it out. And of course, there's the pizza and maybe lasagna fund today through PayPal. And this is the PayPal. And already I want to thank Bloggerdi and also Brian Leisner that have already contributed today just before the show starts. So why not do like they have done and help out and make sure that this continues. If you are here every week and you enjoy this show, this is something that you really love. Well, think about it. Maybe you've never donated. How about doing your first donation? Maybe that could be a great idea, and that would be a great Christmas gift at the same time. If you want to share and say thank you for everything you do, because I know a lot of you enjoy what I do. So thanks everyone for this, and if you give a donation today, don't forget that Santa will be drawing 3 names next week in the live show. And that will be 2 Canadian International DX Club free memberships for 1 year and a surprise box that will be sent to a lucky winner. So if you guys want to try that and try to maybe win something, any amount helps, and any amount is accepted for the drawing next week. Santa himself will be doing this. It is extremely important to mention, by the way, that next week's show will be on Sunday, the 28th of December. Why? Because next week, on Saturday, I will be at my nephew for a Christmas party. So on Saturday, I'll be at my nephew. So Sunday will be the live show, basically. So this is great. Just remember that next week will be on Sunday. So hope that everybody will enjoy seeing Santa next Sunday. Mike B, nice to have you here from Bayfield, Colorado. Richard Wagner, nice to have you on board from Northeast Illinois. Andy New, nice to have you here from the UK, M7CUN. Megan, nice to have you here from Colorado. Rotten Animal from Toronto. John Beckham from sunny Northeast Florida. Brian Leisner, of course, from Philadelphia. Thank you so much for the donation at the same time. RJ88 Dakota, nice to have you here from Wentzville, Missouri. WA0113SWL. Rick Myers, nice to have you here. KO4OSA from South Daytona, Florida. Robert Varner, nice to have you here from New Jersey, KC2TEL. We have Jean Arrache, or Free to Choose, from Saint-Hyacinthe, Quebec. Bienvenue, j'espère que tu vas bien. Nice to have you on board. Old Radios has been playing with his brand new WT2, which is a fun little device, I have to say. I've gone on some of the global chat stuff here a few times and had a couple of conversations this week, but still a little mysterious and a little weird. Trying to, getting the hang of it, but definitely a fun little radio to play with. I actually took it out with me outside and did some radio listening on shortwave a little. So this is, let's check out. I hear it's very noisy, but hey, let's see if we can get Spain on 9690 kilohertz. By the way, one thing I want to mention about it, if you ever put your fingers over the screen, because it's a plastic screen, it can actually create some kind of weird effect where you don't see the display well. Shoyang mentions this, says to take a piece of cloth and slowly clean the screen with it. It will kind of put the charge back to normal and make sure that the radio works okay on the screen, the display works correctly. So here's shortwave. Let me see if 9690. Yeah. So indoors, guys. So this gives you an idea of how good the shortwave is on this receiver. It doesn't have single sideband because it uses the automotive TEF6686 chip, which does not allow single sideband. That's partly why a single sideband is not available on this receiver. If it would probably become one of the ultimate little portables that we could get. Let's continue here. We have our friend Bobby Burgess in Morgan City, Louisiana. Nice to have you here. WA5107SWL. Let me take a sip of my beer. Cheers, guys. Delta Hotel 1 Alpha Oscar DH1AO from Germany. Nice to have you on board. Nice to have you here, Blogger Die, and thank you so much for the donation. Says color check okay. All right. Yeah, it does look normal today. So we'll hope that my face is going to stay like that and not become all red like usual. Nice to have you guys here. Old radios. I wonder after Christmas how many new members of Global Group will be chatting. Yeah, and there are different channels of global groups. If you look at the display, there's like a series of channels, and you actually scan them. You can scan them. What is also interesting, I've noticed, and I didn't know it would do that, is when you turn on the global groups on this, you can go and tune something else like shortwave, and it continues to scan the global groups and search of any activity. And if there is activity, it actually will switch off whatever you're listening and go to the global group where there's some activity. So that I found to be interesting because there's a little bit of activity, not a lot. And if you want to try to talk to somebody, it's kind of fun to maybe be part of know when activity happens, actually. Brian Listener, 8846 upper sideband has been active. And old radios, would like to have one with SSB. Chicopee Radio, nice to have you here. Old Radio says, you might have heard me on Global Group on Thursday. All confused, wondering what the heck I'm doing. On Thursday, I was tuning the radio. And I did hear some people. I heard all sorts of things on Thursday. There's all sorts of weird things also. And old radio says, by the way, sometimes I get jump scared when I hear people talking on global chat. So, yeah, you gotta, it's like ham radio. You gotta get used to it. Chuck Schreiber, nice to have you on board. Happy holidays. N5 KVO, South Texas. Brian Liesner says, good propagation today. Yes, it does seem to be pretty good today. Just looking at Spain coming in on the ICOM here with the GA490 and also on my Yaesu FTDX10. Fred Water, nice to have you on board. J Projects, nice to have you here from San Diego, California. Wizard, nice to have you here from New York. Don Royal, nice to have you here from Arizona. Fred Water, nice drone outdoors only, right? Well, if it would be big enough rooms, it technically it would work indoors, but it's just a little too tight here. Even my living room, which is a little bigger than this room. I was able to have it hover a little bit and so on, but I accidentally knocked the direction and it started moving, and there I just panicked, and it went into the Christmas tree. So something you don't want. So I thought, well, okay, no flying of drones indoors at all. I'm going to go to the park and do that this coming week. Tomorrow I won't have a lot of time for that because I'm going to a funeral of one of my friends that passed away. So it'll be probably during the week. Older radios, I've heard some folks in Argentina and China on the global group. I hope nobody turns it into 7200. That's my scary part. But you know what? I'm wondering about one thing on the global groups, because I was thinking about how easy it is for all these groups to just go haywire. I am wondering if it may be monitored and controlled by ChatGPT somehow, or some AI, so that if it hears bad words or things that shouldn't be talked about, it's just going to cut off your conversation. I wouldn't be surprised that they might be using AI to moderate what's happening. Brian Leesner 9690 says, coming in well. Chicopee Radio getting a DP666. Cool. What else do we have? Jay Arobin says, please do compare the P666 with Kodosen DX 286. I will, definitely. And what else do we have? GMAC, greetings. Nice to have you here. What else do we have? We have Blogger Die that has a two-part article comparing the DP666 and the DX286. He's already done all of it. So go and check out Blogger Die's articles, and do check his blog. A lot of great info there. What else do we have? Ricky, salut. Nice to have you on board. And always nice to have you here. From Calgary, listening while running errands this afternoon. -12 and sunny at the moment. Here it's gray, and it's about, I'd say about 20 Fahrenheit. 25 Fahrenheit, something like that. It's minus 5 Celsius. So, no problem, Chicopee Radio. There's no obligation to donate. Fred Waterer says, Santa, I can explain. What else do we have? Brad Shaver. Nice to have you on board from North Illinois. Fred Waterer, welcome back, Spain. Yeah, they were on the other frequencies, but they were really making it very well into North America. Brian Leesner, propagation is so good at my location, I can hear 9690 indoors with all my local noise on an XH Data D219. I had to try. Yeah, you have to try. You got radios, and those radios are for, having fun and tuning around. Yeah, Spain 9690 is pretty good right now. And let's check out something. Something I wanted to do last time I forgot is slowly check out the schedules on the IBI to see at every half hour what are the stations on the air that we could try together. So 2030 will be in 3 minutes. So, I'm going to try that here, 9855 for NHK Radio Japan. Oh, I'm hearing the interval signal. I am hearing the interval signal of NHK Radio Japan now. 9855, and that is coming from France, the East Sudan France transmitter site. So this is interesting. There's Vatican Radio in French, 11870 we might try. So yeah, kind of nice to see this. Anything else right now that we could check out? 2030 Voice of Vietnam in French to Europe, 11885. That is also something I'm going to try. So we're going to try a few things here. Let's check out. Oops. So I'm not hearing Vietnam. 11870 seems to be rather quiet. We'll see if it changes at the bottom of the hour. 54 Cal, nice to have you here from Northwest Pennsylvania. Megan says, Santa and the birthday fairy got together and decided I needed a laptop more than a new radio, so I'm watching this on my new laptop that was delivered yesterday. Cool. Enjoy. Hope you're having fun with that. Always cool to have a new laptop or a new computer. Every time, I was thinking of maybe one new computer for Christmas. I don't know yet. Actually, I'm waiting for a amount of money. There's a friend of mine that I was taking care of several months back that passed away. I paid for the funeral stuff, and here in Quebec we have a program that there's an amount of money that gets back to you. So I supposed, hopefully maybe before Christmas, to get that amount of money, which pays the funeral that I paid. So I thought that if I get that check in the mail, maybe a new computer or something interesting might pop up for Christmas. I don't know yet. I've checked what I'm gonna do, but and it's supposed to be within days. It's it's program. When I put all the stuff online, it said that usually the payment is in 60 days, within 60 days. So I'm approaching 60 days now. So crossing my fingers. Blogger.io, Christmas tree, oh Christmas tree. I flew my drone into the. Yeah, that's pretty much it. It's like I don't need a cat to destroy my tree. I just do it myself with a drone. SWL Signals, nice to have you here. Received his new tech license. And he is Kilo Romeo 4 India Golf Foxtrot. So welcome to that new tech license. And welcome aboard. It's a lot of fun. Maybe we'll have some contact on the handbands. Kevin, nice to have you on board. And thank you for the donation. And Old Radios will have to we'll have to try to do a contact through that global group thing on the WT2. It would kind of be fun to try something and have a contact with that. Personally, will not use an eSIM because when I'm outside of the house, what I do is I pair my phone with the device so that I can do what I want. So this week when I was outside, actually at some point I was streaming Radio Australia on it in the middle of nowhere, outdoors, which is kind of a lot of fun. So what else do we have? So 11870, I don't have anything. Nothing much here. I know that Vatican Radio on 9705. Nothing much here. So really, a little bit of Radio Japan from France in French 9855, but not as strong as very strong 9930. What else do we have? So Spain is wonderful. It's very strong 9690. $9655, very strong. What's on 9655 at this time? That is so strong. 9655. 20 at 20. Right now, it's KBS World Radio from Ascension Islands. Oh, wow. So that would be so that could be KBS World Radio to North Africa in French. Be listening for some French language here. Because I could, yeah, that's interesting. Because that's pretty much the only thing that's there at this time. So I guess KBS World Radio. We'll see. Afternoon, morning, you know what, SWL Signals, it's morning somewhere. Mike B, my PL 880s ordered from Nonco. Cool. Blogger says, I got a drone for Christmas years ago, a very primitive thing with no camera and no automation. Definitely not for indoors. Yeah, this one is somewhat automated and does have 2 cameras. So it's a cheap one because I thought I am new and I will probably crash it many times. But I thought it would be like inexpensive to play with and get the hang of it, and eventually get one with like 4K cameras and stuff on it. That would be even more interesting to deal with. So, but you know, for now, It has VGA resolution, which is fine. Chicopee Radio says you can make a web server with the DP666, so that's cool. I'm going to check that out. Kevin, WS2H, Clearwater Beach, Florida. Miss our Canadian snowbirds. Politics sucks sometimes, yeah. Yeah, there is an article on that last week in the newspaper here about the people that are going versus those that decided they won't go this year. It's kind of, you know. But I saw your pictures of Clearwater Beach, Florida. Seems to be a very nice place to be. Brian Lee's personal observation on the Spark-Elect flavor of the 666. It's really killer on medium wave. So, I'm going to check that out. Caveman, nice to have you here. It's been a few years since I've been here, but I've recently been getting back into radio. Cool. Cool. Welcome back. Hope that you enjoy and maybe spark that interest in radio again. CHR999, nice to have you here. Chris in Northern Ireland. And if I could keep only one shortwave receiver, what would it be and why? It would be an SDR. So it would be an SDR. If I could keep only one shortwave receiver, it would probably be either my probably my SDR Play SDR, the RSPDX, or the RSPST networked SDR. I think that would be the one. I've actually brought it back here. It was in the kitchen with VHF capability, but because in winter it's kind of difficult to put the wires in, I actually brought it back here so that it can use the SDR Connect software and tune around. So but it would definitely be one of those, because if I have to live with only one radio, it will have to be an SDR. That's automatic. Maybe the other one that I would think about keeping as one radio only is the AirSpy HF Plus Discovery, for one purpose. It is portable because it's very small, and even though the SDR Play device, it would technically be kind of somewhat portable too. The fact that it's very small and I could bring a laptop or a tablet could be that one, but it would be one. It would be an SDR for sure, because of the amazing capabilities of SDRs. Jet NG, nice to have you here. And I caught PGB Bonaire on 800 on PL330 a few weeks back. Yeah, probably when conditions on the bands were a little weird. A lot of people reported Bonaire 800 throughout a big chunk of North America a couple of weeks back when there were some auroras going on. Megan, for my 8th birthday, my dad gave me my first shortwave radio, and that was 35 years ago. I've been at this hobby ever since. Every time it's like the first time for me. Even the magic of finding one station is enough. That is really cool. Really cool. So, that is nice. Definitely nice. And I never had a radio per se well, yeah, I did. I got a CB radio as a Christmas gift, which was my, I need to take it out. It's there in the box. The Realistic Navajo TRC 432 base station that I got for Christmas. I remember my dad gave me that 2 days before Christmas. And man, that CB radio I've used and used and used so much. So much. This is what it, if you guys want to see what it looks like, this is what it looks like. It's a handsome 40 channel CB, just AM, but man, I've had so much fun with this at the time, and talking to other CBers all around. So GMAC, what are you talking about? I know nothing about a radio. Jim's radio check. Nice to have you here. And says, just taking a minute to wish everybody Merry Christmas. I've got a lot of going on right now. I'll be in and out, no problem. Caveman recently bought an old DX300, not the best radio today. It's fair to say. It's a nice collector's piece, though. Yeah, I had the DX302 when I was a teenager in the 80s. It was my first ever radio with a digital display. The DX302 and DX300 are very, very similar. Sorry, guys. Not much difference in what these radios are. And, but definitely not that great of a radio, unfortunately. I think it's last week I talked about it when I was trying to receive Radio New Zealand. Back in the 80s, Radio New Zealand was not the powerhouse of today. Radio New Zealand was 7.5 kilowatts of power only. So Radio New Zealand back in the 80s was pretty good DX, actually, because of its low power. And I could receive it in the morning on 6100, I think. I'm trying to remember the exact frequency. 49 meter bands, anyway. And what happened is that they would sign on at something like 12 UTC, and Radio Canada International would sign on at 12 UTC on 5960. And so Radio Canada International on that frequency was like a powerhouse of a signal here. So what would happen is that I would start hearing the interval signal, but when Radio Canada International would start their transmitter, I would create a white noise that would just wash out Radio New Zealand. So that's where I understood that radio was not really great. As like, oh, okay, it overloads, and then I don't hear this weak stuff when there's too many strong stations. So I learned that lesson. But I was still able to get a QSL card from Radio New Zealand back in the day, because I tried many times. And one day, Radio Canada International probably had transmitter issues. Radio Canada International didn't sign on at least 20 minutes after the hour. So that 20-minute window, I was able to listen in, do a reception report, and send it to Radio New Zealand back in the day. That was my first QSL from Radio New Zealand. But it definitely showed me how, okay, it's not a great radio. Has a hard time handling strong stations. Brian Leesner, on my laptop watching this, I have the 909X next to me on the couch and have the NRSPST in another tab. Cool. Blanco Die 9655, weak and fast fading. And what else do we have? Let's go down here. Slowly. Old radios, it's fun working retail the weekend before Christmas. Jen NG says, this weekend I am buying the Sangean HDR 16 HD radio for WPHT and FMs in New York City. Cool. Cool. Nice little radio. Megan, a few years ago I got a $40 drone just to play with and fly in my house. 12-foot ceilings. and I can crash and destroy and not cry. Yeah, that's what I did. I bought a cheap one, so if I, trash it, well, I don't lose a lot of money, and it's gonna kind of make me, uh, work on eventually having a good one that I won't crash, hopefully. Richard Wagner fixed his MLA30. The dog ate his coax. Thank God that it's not working on 120 volts AC. Your dog would never eat a coax again. Brian Leisner says, I like playing around with medium wave late at night and seeing the peaks on the SDR. Yep. It is fun. Old radios, can't wait till next show and see how busy global groups gets. Yep. Going Overland says, how about a non-SDR? Okay, so you're asking me is if I had only one radio to choose and it would be a non-SDR, then I guess, you know what, I'd probably just choose, well, no, it's kind of cheating because it is part SDR. I was about to say the Yaesu FTDX10. But let's forget about ham radio and think about just a radio for listening to shortwave. It would be a portable because I would like to take it out and go somewhere with it and have it easy to power on. So it'd be something like, well, let me think about it for a second. I'd probably choose the Texan. It's a big radio. It's not that portable, but I'd keep the Texan S2200X. I think that would be my go-to radio. That would be the one I'd keep of all the radios. If not that, it probably would be I don't know, maybe Texan PL 990 or something like that. But the S2200X would probably be my first choice. I got so many of them, and there's so many of them that are actually so good. It all depends on how portable I want to be, basically. As long as it gets what I want to hear on the bands. Brian Leisner says, I love having the SDR on the local network, but the NRSPST is rough to use on a phone. Yeah, it's not as easy to do on small devices. It would need to have some kind of specific app made for it to really be easier to use. Old radio is interesting to hear. Actual BBC on this WT2 also, not just World Service. Yeah, you got all the BBC streams. Yep. Tinus, nice to have you here from Switzerland. Art Dodd, nice to have you here, and happy holidays. K2ADC in New Jersey. Chikupi can't wait to put up his web server online mode with DP666. Pretty cool. Kev Michael, nice to have you on board. 9370 Radio Filipinas on the Grundig Satellite 800. Going Overland, my first radio was a Sony ICF Shortwave 20. I bought it off another backpacker in Indonesia who needed money. Kevin Michael, those Navajo CB radios in the 70s were great. Yep, and they were tough. I mean, I did stuff with that technically was illegal, like broadcasting. One of my friends had a radio receiver that had CB channels on it, and he lived about 10 streets away from where I was, and he was getting a kick out of me doing a broadcast station on CB Friday nights. So when we were in high school, we were like maybe 2 years difference. We weren't in the same classes, but we were in high school and would meet up sometimes and talk a little bit. And he was really, really into tuning to CB channels on his radio all the time. So how it started was in the summer. as the summer went, because we wouldn't be. It's interesting because that guy, we wouldn't see each other unless we were seeing each other in school. So I had told him, I said, you know what I'm going to do this summer, and I got the Navajo base station. I was 14 years old. So I remember I told him that's the summer that we went to. So that, I guess that would be the summer of 1984. I remember I told him, listen in on channel 40 every Friday night at 8 p.m. You'll hear something. And he had my phone number. So I remember the first Friday I said, starting next week. So the first Friday I just keyed up. I would actually put an elastic around the microphone so that it would stay keyed up all the time. So all I had to do is just put the microphone and I'd just talk into it and put the radio next to it to play songs. So I was actually doing like a radio station playing like the top 20 or the top 40, I don't remember. I think it was the top 20 songs of the week. And I would play them on the radio and comment on them and so on. So it was like a radio broadcast, basically, but it was technically illegal because you're not allowed to do that. And one of the things that, I didn't think of, but that could have happened because that radio came hot when I would broadcast, because CB radio is not meant to be, keyed up and transmit for 2 hours. It's supposed to be a conversation and not have enough time to eat up. But man, the back of the radio would become real hot because of the constant transmission. And it still works today. It's like that thing was tough. It's like it never blew up, never had any problems. And he got a kick out of that. Like he wanted me to do it every Friday, and I think that summer, except maybe for a few Fridays where I didn't feel like it, I think almost every Friday. And it was so funny because I had a walkie-talkie also, one of the talkies that you see in Stranger Things, the TRC 214, I think. And I could listen in on the other channels when I would move away from the main channel that I'm broadcasting on. Or no, it was on the shortwave radio. I was actually tuning the other frequencies on CB on the realistic DX302. And I could hear one guy on another channel one day said, wow, there's this guy on channel 40 that's broadcasting music all the time. I don't know what he's doing, but I remember the guy commenting. So I did that all summer. It was kind of a cool thing, basically. And it was fun. It was like I was on the radio, and I had a kick out of knowing that, because my friend would call me just to tell me that, yeah, I'm listening and I'm hearing you good. So I also had a kick in knowing that, because I knew where he lived, and knowing that my CB signal was going up to where he was. And for me, that was kind of cool. I was like, wow, I wonder how far my signal is going and so on, So that was kind of a lot of fun, basically. Brian Leesner says, I had a coworker who thinks I'm crazy with the radios, play with the NRSPST, and I could not get him to stop. Instantly fascinated. Who's crazy now? VD Radio, nice to have you here. Paul AA1SU in Northern Vermont. Just got back from our ham radio club today. Holiday party. Pretty cool. Kev Michael saying happy holidays to everyone. Kev Michael, Radio New Zealand on 49 meters. $6100 in the 80s. Yeah. Blogger died. The DX300 and 302 used something called a Wadley loop, which somehow canceled drift in the local oscillator. Yeah, it did drift slightly, but it was very, very good. It was the first time that I could actually tune in to a single sideband transmission and only like slightly use the BFO slightly every, I don't know, 5 to 10 minutes, which was great because I mean, the DX100 was like drifting so much that it was like 5 to 10 seconds. GMAX says I asked about the PL680 and told Anna and Anko that you were a big fan, and she replied, Jill is a very knowledgeable radio enthusiast, and yes, in the case of the PL680, would offer something different. So yeah, I really like the fact that she. I don't know. I forgot to do it, but I'd like to ask maybe to get that analog, the 9700 little analog. See if she would send me one for free to play around and test. Jet NG, what frequency is China Radio International right now? If I look at the schedules here, you would actually get China Radio International at 20 UT. They are on in English, so they are on. So this is I'm gonna actually put the text. I think it's gonna fit in the chat. So this is what I have off of EIBI space 20 to 21. Actually, I should give you 21 to 22, where will be China Radio International. So 21 to 22. So this is. So yeah, it's really Radio Korea, not Radio Korea, but KBS World Radio in French on 9655. So right now, China Radio's English frequencies starting now at 21 UT would be these frequencies all from China. And there's also the ones from, so here's the frequencies. I guess they're going to work. Here we go. Here's the frequencies. So 7205, 7285, 7415, 9600, and 7325. So they would also be on the Mali transmitters. So let's check out. I'm not hearing much here on those, but they, for the next 30 minutes left, they'd be on 13630 and 11640 from Mali. 13630 is rather weak here. $11,640 is a little better. KNLS 11610. This is from the Madagascar relay. So that's their interval signal of KNLS. $11,610, but that comes from Madagascar, not from their Alaska transmitter site at 21. and Mandarin Chinese 11610. So not bad from 13,000 kilometers away from here, basically. And 9690 still has a very strong Spain right now, as we're tuning the bands also and checking out what's out there. It's always kind of cool. Anything else here that we could check out? 2130. Nothing much. Radio Romania French on 6030-7375. So kind of cool. Kind of cool to have all of that. So, okay, let's go down. I am about 15 minutes behind, guys, so just let you know. Pretty cool. Kevin, base CB radios are really cool. There was a CB shop called Walcott back in the 80s. They basically converted 10-meter rigs CB. So, pretty cool. Jace Gilbert, nice to have you here. Salut. J'espère que ça va bien. And, well, we're still Saturday here, but I will take the happy Sunday from Melbourne, Australia, the land of the future. Nice to have people from Australia checking in, be listening, love and replaying back later depending on your duties. So happy Christmas to you too. Perry in Sherbrooke, Quebec, nice to have you on board. Gunner, 6639. Nice to have you here from Saskatchewan. Man, I really miss RCI. I remember as a kid listening on Sunday mornings to comedy classics and original Royal Canadian Air Force. Not appreciating what a special time it was. Unfortunately, that's even I realized I was not fully appreciating everything that I listened to back in the day. But I guess that's the way it is. So, Brian Penny, nice to have you on board from Cape Cod. Happy holidays. K-Man says, I'd say the DX300 is more of a display piece for me personally, and if I really want to receive something clearly, I just stick it to the PL880, and it's much simpler. Well, radios, what do you got in your WT2 favorites, Joel? I've not yet put any favorites or anything yet in it. I really need to take more time and take more time to make videos on it too. John Beckham, what time does Radio Marti sign on at 6030? They sign on 6030 at 01 UT at 8 p.m. Eastern, 01 UTC. So they're from 01 to 1100 on that frequency, Radio Marti. In an hour, we'll have the CW Morse code stations. We'll try from spy stations from Russia. So we'll be checking that out. As far as pirate radio stations right now, I don't see, what do I see? I don't see anything at this time. So we'll be keeping that it. Once again, like I was saying at the beginning of the show, we're the shortest day of the year pretty much now, which means the night is very long. What time UTC? So, winter solstice 2025 is happening at 15:03 UTC Sunday. So tomorrow, 15:03 UTC will be when we officially get into the winter solstice in the northern hemisphere. That means that for Jace down in Australia and Melbourne, it's going to be official summer. So That means that here in the Northern Hemisphere, longest night tonight and tomorrow night are the two longest nights of the year, which is great for medium wave and long wave. What else do we have? So nice to have you here, John Beckham. Fred Waterer, okay. Jet NG says, look at how many FM pirates that New York City has. Yeah, yeah. Old radios. I found a Ethon a couple of months ago for $10. It was destroyed by batteries or liquid. Yeah. Lagadai, picking one radio is tricky because some radios are really fine and others that are less good have other features. Yeah, that's the thing. It's very, very difficult to pick just one because you're like, okay, which one will I... And you know, we always talk about how things are not perfect. And I had that conversation. It's so funny because I bought a train that goes under the tree in my Christmas village. And I don't know if I still have the video here about that. Let me check it out. The train is amazing. It is truly amazing. But for some reason, they decided that the light at the front of the engine, the light on the locomotive is red. And I'm like, why? Why do you put a red LED? All the rest of the train is great, but it's a red LED. It's like, no, you put a white one. And so it kind of is a little off because of that. Because the rest, it's a train that's all metal that I purchased on Amazon. All metal. The passenger cars light up. And it's a rechargeable battery in the engine that you just recharge. And you actually pour in real, just tap water in it. And it makes smoke. You know, not that phony, weird chemical that they used to do before. This is just put water and it will do smoke. And it's immediate. It's as if there's some kind of pump or something that just create a mist. It's just crazy. And I look at it and I'm like, wow, this is like the perfect train, except they put that darn red LED in front. It has to be white, please. So it actually, when I saw that, it was like, wow, this is exactly when I talk about radios. So many radios with so many features, but not one of them has everything right. They all have something that is like, all right, I'll deal with it, but why did you do that? And so, yeah, it's very, very hard to pick one. Because when I look at all the good ones I have, there's so many of them that are just so good. But at the same time, it's okay, which one would be the best for everyday use, even though they're not perfect, even though, yeah, might not be. I had actually a hard time picking something as I was thinking of which radio I'd like to have. Because of that. They're all, you know. So I don't know. It's crazy. What else do we have here? Gonna remember as a farm kid of the 80s listening to the truckers' CB radio chatter. I couldn't broadcast, but heard them loud and clear, which got me hooked. Cool. Hey, Tristan, Merry Christmas. Thank you so much for the tip. Much appreciated. Old radios. Oh yeah, I still need a GE Super Radio. Well, if you can get the original first version, that is the best of all of them. GE Super Radio 2 isn't bad. If you get a 3, I got a 3 here. It's yeah. I haven't taken that GE Super Radio in a long time. Probably people would like to see videos. And I mean, the scale is completely off. It's compared to the original Super Radios, it's kind of junk, unfortunately. But get the at least the one, or the two is also good, but the three is not great. James Farley, are old baby monitors good for anything these days? Use them as some kind of, what I would do with one of those is like hook it up and, I don't know, do a 49 megahertz radio station with it. Let's do some pirate radio stations on 49. But yeah, well, or if you don't mind being spied on, they're still useful for, monitoring babies. Just turn it off when you don't need it, you know. Gunner purchased a Mint GE Super Radio 2 on eBay, but it's deaf on medium wave. Any recommendations or to get it looked at in Canada? I would contact maybe Radio World in Toronto and ask them, where is there a place in Canada you could have it? Because here in Montreal we have a place. If you would be in Montreal, there is a place where it would be get fixed. Unfortunately, it would cost you probably the price of a GE Super Radio 2, if not more, to have it fixed. But it would be fixed here with offset. And I don't know if if you'd send it by mail or something, if it would actually be. The question is also, it's like, I mean, it's a good radio, but what's the price of a repair on it? Is it really worth it at some point? Because there's a lot of great radios today for medium wave. I think that question, the answer to that question goes with how badly you wanted to have a repair and have it working. Because for some people, it's like, I don't care the price, as long as it works. And for others, it's, well, I just want a good radio on medium wave, so if buying a new radio is better, then yeah, John Beckham, I have enjoyed both my Ciudadon and XH Data radios over the years. RJ Dakota, there was a Super Radio 3 as well. I had an RCA nameplate on it, but it couldn't be compared to the first two. Nope, not at all. Not at all. Mine is a GE plate, but that thing is not great. What made me purchase it is two things. Because at full price, I thought it was too expensive. It was at Canadian Tires here. And what happened is, at Canadian Tires, they did a bundle. They had a Ethon little, like the Ethon Mini 300, something like that, in red color. And what they did is they put the Ethon box, and taped it over, and put a price tag that said $69.99. You got the GE Super Radio 3 and the Ethon 300 bundle. And I thought, well, okay, that's good. I'll have a GE Super Radio 3, see how it works. And I got that little portable, which I use quite a lot, and I need to take it out and play around with it. It's been a long time I turned it on. Dustin Love, remember, got walkie-talkies for Christmas every year for a while. One year I got one of those toy-based stations where it could tune all 23 channels. It could only transmit on channel 14, though. Yeah, that was the ones that used crystals. Were always like that. Like they just transmit on channel 13, basically. So yeah. Okay. What else do we have? For you choose. If you want tomorrow's news, tune into a Australian radio station. Yeah, I'll have it before everybody else. Brian Leesner, 11610, Barry copying it, but I am making out Chinese. JMac, I still have my Channel Master 5 TR from my childhood and still works. Cool. We have Fiddle 121. Radios in cars and trucks sometimes work better than your stationary radios. Yeah, a lot of cars come with really good radios, actually. John Beckham, Spain on 9690, coming in nicely in Northeast Florida on the Ceodon R108. Blogger Dice sharing your Radio Marty schedule. Caveman, M12, I heard a random more station the other day. It wasn't a number station, it translated a small segment, and it was a code within a code that sent. Yeah, it could be because one of the stations that a lot of people get is the French Navy Morse code practice station, which sends groups of letters and numbers, and that is heard widely. Okay, Michael Canalis from Alaska, bringing me in here in my area of the world. Jace is making the most of the longer days while we are in the shorter days. Let's make the most of the night here. So here the sun set about 15 minutes ago. It's 4:17 p.m. and it's pretty much dark outside now. Here. Channel Masters, oh man, those were so amazing. Skilleology, finally the Spanish National Radio North American transmitter is back on. Yes. User RCE8I, how do you scan global group on WT2? I'm gonna make a video. Because out of the blue, just like this, I don't remember. It's like you can turn on the global group, and I think it does on its own if you just turn it on and say, okay, keep that on. When there's nobody talking, I think it goes through by itself on the scanning of the groups as you're doing something else. So you go and tune other things, and while you're doing other things. But I did see it the other day. It was on the display. It was saying scanning on it. If I go here, let me turn it on and check that out. K-Man, it's a shame the S2000 isn't so good. It really looks nice. Yeah, the S2000 should have been what the S2200 is. The S2200X is really the one to get, which looks pretty much the same. People often mistake the two. So here we go. I want to have this. Let's go to global groups. Yes. Nope. Let's just check it out here, guys. I'm not going to waste too much time, but global groups. So it's not I'm getting an error now, so that's FM. All right. Yeah, I'll make a video because I can't right now. I can't even get into that, so I'll have to make a video of it. What else do we have? V8 Reach APX Ottawa has a pirate on 6969 kilohertz. Plays classic rock. And it says he blew up his, and so he's off the air. Oh, man. Okay. Blew up his amp. Yeah, that's possible. You can't run it full power all the time because it actually, doesn't work. It's like using a ham transceiver for a pirate. Don't run it at high power because if you run 100 watts on a 100 watts capable transceiver all the time to do a pirate, you're going to blow up the output. John Beckham, Radio Shack used many Sanyo parts back in the day for the realistic stereo lineup. Jim Gordon, nice to have you here from Scotland. David P. Miller, nice to have you here from New Jersey. Don Royal has 11610 as a weak signal in Arizona. Kevin Michael, have the Panasonic RF 3100 classic. Yeah, this is a great classic Panasonic for the day. RJ Dakota, GE did use a lot of Matsushita parts in those super radios. Skidology, weak signal on 9690 and sound in Ontario, Canada with my Blue Light MLA 30 Plus. I'm surprised you don't hear it better in sound in Ontario. Do you have a portable that you could just use the whip antenna, the telescopic, and check out if you can hear it from it? Out of curiosity. User RCE8I says, do you have the Monashite DSP2 SDR radio? It seems to have a lot of good reviews on Amazon. I have an original Chinese one, which is, surprising. But I don't have the DSP2 nor, so I can't really talk about it much. Kev Michael, I hope it'll be a good cold front tonight. Long wave, medium wave DX would be great. Blogger, you have 3 new radios coming in over the next week. I blew about $30 total. Radios in that price range offer so much more to criticize. Jet NG, I have a Super Radio 3 from GE. I have Senji and HDR16 coming in the next few days. Cool. Fred Water, I think Bayuk is my new favorite radio review. What? Gunner, I agree with you about making a tough choice of what's best. There are so many radios that I wish would have a permanent backlight. That is something that every radio that has one, I find it so cool that, when, I don't know about you guys, but I think a lot of us are in the same kind of mode that when we're using our radios, if it has some backlighting, we like to be in low light environment and just look at how beautiful a display looks and everything. And when they had the capability where the keypad and everything is light up, it is so cool to use a radio in almost total darkness. Sometimes I actually do total darkness. I don't know how many times that if I had a radio with, backlight, that everything's easy to see, I just turn off the lights at night and just tune around with it. It's kind of magical. It's like using a tube radio. Old tube radios. You put it in a position where you could see the tubes glowing, and you just turn it on and you like dim the lights. And it's like, this looks so cool. Yeah, if you want Chicopee Radio 2009, just send it to official shortwave radio at gmail.com. And by the way, let's do a little contest tonight. How about you guys send me at that email the radio you're using tonight, or the radios you're using tonight. Send the pictures, and I'm going to show them to everybody as we go in through the live show. I think that could be a lot of fun to show the radios people are using. Um, let me go down here. So let's go here. I'm getting closer to about 10 minutes behind. John Beckham, I used to like some of those Juliet AM FM shortwave radios available at Walgreens back in the day. Yeah, there was these we had some weird branding stuff here. I remember back in the 80s. There is one was, I'll put the name here in the chat. We had one which was, I just want to make sure I'm writing it correctly. Yeah, Juta International. And there's a lot of stuff from them. GIL. I'm going to put the name here. So some are branded GIL and some are like Juta International. And that was kind of the cheapest crap that you actually can get back in the day. It was the least expensive stuff was that. It was that weird branding. And I remember that. Is 49 megahertz still a CB band? Well, 49 was never a CB band. CB is very unique to the 40 channels of the 27 megahertz spectrum. Although there were some walkie-talkies made for 49 megahertz. And the reason is that 49 megahertz channels that used baby monitors, even some cordless phones, a lot of those frequencies were also shared with 49 megahertz talkies, walkie-talkies, things like that. So it's not a CB band per se, but it is a band that was used for, CB-like communications with talkies and all sorts. It's still the same band plan, so it's like those are, even though they're not used much anymore, it's still pretty much the same band plan. And actually it was also shared with remote control toys. A lot of remote control toys were on that frequency range also. So it's like there was a lot of stuff at one point on those 49 megahertz frequencies. I mean, you could just tune around. You know what? One thing that I wanted to do, that I need to do actually, is one night. I want to get back in better shape, let's say. So every night I want to do like an hour or an hour and a half walk outdoors. I want to bring my scanner radio like I used to, and scan 49 megahertz as I'm walking. Is there someone out there still using a baby monitor on that range, or who knows? We've moved on to cell phones and stuff, but I know a lot of older people that do not and are resisting the use of a cell phone still have a landline or still have a cordless phone. And I sometimes wonder, is there that old lady somewhere, or that old dude somewhere that refuses to get modern and still has a 49 megahertz cordless phone, for example, especially in a big city like Montreal, scattered here and there. Or there's still somebody somewhere that I could It's like, oh, look at that. Yeah, there is. So what I'd like to do is I would put a scanner radio that would scan from 46 to 50 megahertz constantly. And I'd just go and take a pretty long walk around and see if I hear anything. I think that could be an interesting experiment to do. Rogers Tenstrom, nice to have you here. K5MOW. Kevin Michael, if I would, if it were getting a new radio, have 3 shortwave with SSB, have 1 VHF handheld, and others with medium wave. Where do I go next? Plus my Kiwi SDR on my phone and notebook. That's an interesting thing. Go next. Maybe some of those funky new SDR portable radios, stuff like that. Or even, you know what? I would consider a thing like this. Oops, I'm just gonna lower the volume here. Oh, here we go. I'm in the global groups. I'm on 0, and where am I on the global groups? No, I'm on 10. So global groups as these numbers. 10. I'm on 10 out of 1,000. If you've got a WT2, can you guys go on 10, 1,000? I think you changed the channel just by the two keys on the top here, which are of and even that I'm not sure. So I'm just, so 5 select mode on off 0. Okay. I'm clicking OK here. Oh, press 0 to enter settings. Global groups 9 1000 0. Oh, create group. Okay, guys, I'm going to do something here. 1. Shortwave. I'm just curious what it's going to say or do. What is it doing? It wants me to create a group. Shortwave. Oh no, it wants me to. Now it's actually showing me, things like this, which is, so it's telling me WWCR shortwave, WINB worldwide Christian radio, which is WWCR. No, okay, what's that? So how do I create a group? I think that could be interesting. I don't know. So anyways, I'm on group 9 right now, and I still wonder. Group 9, 0 to enter settings. What is that? Join group. So join group, and click OK. Enter group number. Wow. 1 2 3 1 2 3 1. Okay. What the hell? Group password. 111111. Okay. Join group. Okay. Join group success. But how do I share this group with you guys if we want to try it? Is the question, because now I've got my group, which is 1231231, with a password of 111111. Anybody see this or can join this? This is where I'm a little messed up of how this works. So anyways, you guys figure it out. I'll leave it there. Can you guys join this? I have no idea. I have no idea if anybody can join this. personally. No, it doesn't mean 9 people are on there, all radios. I think it's just one channel, like a channel 9 on CB, where you can create something. I don't know. It's weird. Anyways, if anybody sees this and wants to join in and say hello, I'll be like, I have no idea. And let's try to go down here. Yeah, the Wear the Cube. Oh God, yeah, the Wear the Cubes. I had one. I would bring it with me to up north when we would go. Those Wear the Cubes. I wish I still had one. Phil says, I had a Timex clock radio. You need an engineering degree to set the alarm. Yeah, the Wear the Cubes. Gunner, yep. I've heard the buzzer many times actually from here. We could, at this time we could maybe try it. Set to 5. Not hearing it now. And usually I don't hear it in dead of winter like we are now. I'll hear it more like in, I've heard it last time in October-ish, like late October. And I've heard it several times in the last 3 or 4 months. But yeah, when conditions are right, the buzzer does come in here. Chickabee Radio, one of those because if how cool people said the Weather Cube were, and I was, you know how I got one Weather Cube back in the day? I had, you know, when you're young and you get Christmas money from your uncles and aunts. It's like, you know, your uncle is drunk. It's like that was always the thing for me. It was like I was waiting and my uncles would get drunk and it was like, oh, Merry Christmas, here's $20. You know, I'm sure the next day they would be like, no, did I just give $20 to, yeah. But I remember like every time there was a Christmas party, I would like the next day I would be, oh, hello there.
Hey, how's it going?
Who are you and where are you from?
From Ohio.
From Ohio? Are you in the chat right now in the live show?
Just to see if it would work. I guess he created a channel.
Yeah, I created a channel. I actually have no idea what I'm doing, but I did create a channel. So this is kind of cool. So somebody's on the channel that I created, so you can all create a channel. So this is interesting. Interesting experiment tonight because I'm learning more now about, oh, okay, create your own channel and talk and be there.
How long have you had?
So it's very cute. So I had the WT2 for about 2 weeks now. And I'm still learning. I've been going through shortwave stuff. I've been listening to medium wave. And I've been going through the smart radio side. Kind of starting up with what these chat groups are all about.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out. I haven't really heard too many people talking. Maybe there's not too many people that has a radio yet.
Yeah, I think that's what's happening. Is like this is a brand new product, so it's still not a lot of people that have it. So look, thanks for coming back from Ohio. I'm in Montreal, Quebec, Canada, and I am going to continue. I'm on a live show right now, demonstrating the radios and stuff. So thanks for checking in. This is very interesting. So take care and happy holidays.
Happy holidays to you. Good talk.
So this is kind of cool. This is kind of cool. Okay, so these are internet groups. You don't need a hand license to do this at all. These are chat groups that you, or global groups that you create on the radio. These go over the internet. They are global. So this guy was from Ohio. This is kind of cool. I'm I'm a little hyped up right now with this new little radio. Okay, let's. I might be missing some of your questions because my browser crashed, by the way, and it came back with many minutes missing. So I'm missing part of the chat right now. So if you ever ask a question that I didn't go through, wait maybe 20, like 15 minutes. If you see I haven't answered your question, this is going to be just ask it again. So I was saying I would get money from my uncles and stuff, and one day I went to, I think it was a Boxing Day. I went to Radio Shack and there was a weather cube for, it was like half the price or something. It was like $10 instead of 20 or something. And I thought, hey, $10 for a weather cube. I always wanted one. Let's go for it. And that's where I got my weather cube. I remember with the fake wood finish. Craig Martinetti, nice to have you here from Ontario. Richard Wagner, how does the Quotacent DX286 compare to the GE Super Radio? You know what? I can only compare it to the GE Super Radio 3. It's as good, in my opinion, if not better, personally. The difference is I would like to see, and I would like to know about the Super Radio 1, and hear people comparing their Super Radio 1 with a DX, a medium wave DX machine of today. Bert, WF7i Homebrew, nice to have you on board from a sunny and pleasant Virginia. So pretty cool. Brian Leesner, a lot of people poo-pooed the Radio Shack stuff. They had very smart buyers and sold a lot of cool stuff. They had some cool stuff. Not everything was great and all, but it's really they had some really cool stuff. Skidology is very noisy in my apartment complex, so it's hard to pick up stations with the telescopic. Okay. I got Purple Hair. There's a song, Purple Haze. There's Prince. Prince would like it. Prince likes purple. He liked purple. Who remembers the Dick Tracy radios? I believe it was a watch radio. Yeah. Kev, Michael, Alaska would be a great place to DX right now. The colder, better. So I'm Purple Hair. Purple hair, purple hair. Tostenloff, I remember the toy walkie-talkies could handle 100% duty cycle with no trouble. Yeah, the ones that were the 100 milliwatt, ones, probably. Wired Dave, nice to have you here from Temple, Texas. BT Radio, I finally figured out the Covey Hill repeater tone is 88.5 hertz. A ham at the holiday party told me. Email me for a SCAD or turn on 2 meters now if you can. I would not. It would kind of be difficult for me to do it now, and I'm not sure here in this room I'd be able to actually get it. Nicole, G6PGV, season's greetings. Nice to have you here, G6PGV from the UK. Always nice to have you on board. Bert is preparing for some summits on the air activations. Pretty cool. Wire Dave, 11610-9690, strong here in Central Texas. Sanji and ATS 909X2 and a K480WLA. Brian, I really wish Texan did backlit keys. Yeah, there's one radio that they have that does it. Is it the 398, the one that's kind of stereo looking? I remember one of them does it, which is pretty cool. The one that does it very well, that's really cool for that, the Shoyoung receivers, the Shoyoung LC390 is one of those that is beautiful. It has beautiful backlit just lights. You don't see it here because of the light, but you can see they're illuminated here. All the keys are lighted up. So this is one that is amazing for that. Really, really love it. So as soon as you touch a key, you start. You have the backlight going on. So this is truly nice because at night you don't have to search for any of the buttons. They're all lit up. So this is pretty cool. The Shoyoung LC90 is nice for that. This is a great example. A great example of how it's done. And Kaviva, nice to have you here. And Kaviva says, I ordered the World Radio TV Handbook 2026, 80th edition, last print. It will also be my first one. Very special one, pretty cool. You should have it soon, depending on where you ordered it. Some people are starting to mention they have theirs. If you have ordered one through CIDX, the Canadian International DX Club, by the way, they're on their way to CIDX headquarters, which means that in a couple of weeks, you guys should probably have him. John Beckham just wanted to wish all on the live shortwave radio stream Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you, my friend. Kevin Michael, what's on 100 to 150 kilohertz? I've not been getting anything in that area. There's some experimental amateur radio stuff there. Around 136 kilohertz. You do have some experimental amateur stuff. Apart from that, there used to be some marine broadcasting there. 100 kilohertz used to be the global LoRaN network, which was replaced by GPS, basically. Even though a few countries still use it. But I'd say 136 to 138 kilohertz. The only thing that you might be checking out for is amateur radio experimental stations that are there. They're usually very low power, though. Darren Rogers, nice to have you here. KB2AHS in Long Island, New York. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Craig. RJ Dakota, remember in the 60s, I remember a radio company, rather obscured, called Webcore. It produced Viscount radios. They were hit or miss thing. Wow. Jet NG trying to pull in WBZ Boston with the Super Radio 3 right now, but I know the 2 isn't the best radio because of tuned electrical capacitors. Kevin Michael, we used to get airline awards back in the day. And some of my radio gifts were from that store. Exercise to shortwave. I like that. Yep, absolutely. Yeah, it's more an unlicensed band, Tostenloff. Exactly. Exactly. So let me check it out here. I'm gonna go look at the emails here. All right. So Chicopee Radio. And we'll show other radios. Okay, the web server stuff. So, Okay, I'll be checking. I'll be sharing that link and everything. All right. Bill Mead, radio of choice. A mighty fine radio too. Look at that, guys. You're gonna be jealous, guys. I'm gonna tell you, you guys gonna be jealous. And Japan radio and RD 525. Look at that beauty. Sorry, the light's in the way. That is beautiful. I always wanted one of those back in the day. I remember that was one of those. Brian Leesner's radio of the day is I believe I know what this radio is. The Texan PL 990. Look at that. Beautiful radio. What do we have? We have Caveman. Radio of the day. The radios of the day. Oh, look at that. That's cool. So we've got the DX300 and the Texan PL 880 on the top. Great radios. Kevin, radios in front of him right now. So our friend Blogger Die is showing us the radios in front of him right now. Two little SI 4732 receivers with their little loop antennas. I like the fact that he switched the red antenna to the black radio and the black antenna to the red radio. So cool. That is nice. That is nice. So it's pretty cool to have your radios. If anybody wants to share, let us know. By the way, before we continue and before we check out the number stations from Russia, don't forget, you can give me a little donation here. It is much appreciated. It helps this show continue. If you like what I do, if you like the fact that I'm here all the time, you know what? How about a little donation to support the channel, support me, support new radios, antennas, everything. It is very appreciated, and it totally helps me continue. Super chat here, and the lasagna fund and cat treats tonight through PayPal at this email address if you want to donate. And don't forget that any donations received tonight, and of course through the last few months, next week Santa's going to be here on Sunday the 28th, not Saturday, Sunday the 28th. Santa's going to be here, and he's going to give away 2 CIDX, Canadian International DX Club memberships, and also a surprise box for somebody that has donated in the last few months. So, thanks everybody for your donations. You have no idea how these keep this channel going. You'd be surprised if you're here all the time. You like what's happening here. You like what is this live show. Please let me know by supporting me. It is greatly appreciated. Thank you so much. So, let's continue quickly. Kevin Michael, 30 to 50 megahertz. Great to hear the neighborhood. And when there's skip, there's a lot of stuff still being heard on that range. So, that's pretty cool. Blogger Die, you can share a Showyang WT2 Global group by opening the group, tapping share, and sending the invite link or QR code to others. They join instantly by opening the link in the WT2 Global app. All right, I'm going to check that out more because it's very interesting to have had somebody show up on this group. So now let's me. Okay, this is a group. What about if I want to remove this group? How do you? Yeah. Okay, 0 to enter settings. Okay. I'll have to really check how this works because it's kind of interesting, I have to say. Okay. Gunner, I don't know if anybody like me, but people that I know that know me find it ironic that I find these communication devices like CB and ham radio so appealing to me. I agree it's odd, but I love it. I say it all the time. I think it's something very unique that we share in what we and what we love it or we don't. We don't. We get it or we don't, and I think that's the thing. We get it, and we're fans of it, but it. It's a tough one. Even when I was back in my teenage years in the 80s, when there's a lot more, it was still a very niche thing. Honestly, it was something very unique. So if you guys want to try a Russian number station in Morse code, 6897 is the frequency to try now, and CW 6897. And we'll see if I hear anything off of the Moscow, Russia. If you don't have single sideband, you can do 6896 upper sideband. And we'll see what works. Jay Watterson 69, nice to have you here. Okay, Michael got the weather cube. I would leave it on VHF Marine Channel 16 back in the day. So, Landy K. Waters, you don't need a ham license for that type of communication on this radio. It's over the internet. It's pretty cool. Marvin Mutz, nice to have you here from Beijing, China. We have might be I'm streaming the live chat from my cell phone through my Bluetooth speaker. So pretty cool. And he's picking up the live stream on 4715 on the PL330. So, Bert, WF79, this is a do-it-all radio. It's a medium wave, FM, shortwave radio with smart radio capabilities, streaming all of your yeah, I know, Ricky, I'll be changing it, but so this is it's like internet walkie-talkie thing. It's a very interesting device. It's also a UHF transceiver. So it's like you could use it on the amateur bands on 70 centimeters. It's very unique. Very unique. So I will change my password now with this. And click OK. And I'll do... Boop. There we go. 0. I will change the password of this group. Group. Okay. So this is very interesting. Very interesting device, I gotta say. So, anybody hearing the Morse code from Russia? I'm not sure. I think I might be hearing something, but you know, your mind. Kevin Michael, I still can't get any marine voice on HF, on shortwave, from marine telephone from ships. Got fishing boats on 6850 and SSB mode. Yeah, they don't happen very often, so you have to really like leave it on and hope for the best. You don't hear them very often. Brian Leesner, no license. I'm surprised I never got a hand license, but now I'm picking up that radio. Perhaps it will twist my arm to make the test too. Yeah, absolutely. Different Gear TV. Nice to have you on board. Yeah, Jimi Hendrix, Purple Haze. All radios came across a 1938 Zenith chairside radio that somebody painted black. They want $65 for it. Landy K. Walkers, it's the Shoyoung WT2. It's an AM FM shortwave receiver. It's a smart radio. You can stream your favorite stations. For example, if I go on the streaming side of it, I could just do BBC World Service, and it will find a BBC World Service as it's searching and tell me, okay, is that what you want? It might take a few seconds sometimes, but it usually comes up with the answer. Once you have that, it's a little longer than usual. It's usually faster than that. Here we go, BBC World Service. It's giving me a list. It's giving me BBC World Service at the top, which I can click OK. And I have a BBC World Service stream that will start up.
Negotiations between him and Vladimir Putin. He was speaking as officials gathered in Florida for another round of U.S.-led negotiations. Samira Hussein is in Kyiv.
From the American point of view, they're feeling like we have negotiated quite a lot in terms of this peace agreement.
So you have that, or you can go and tune in shortwave and simply put whatever you want to tune in. So I was on Spain. I don't know what else I could try that would come in right now. So because I have a lot of noise here, it's kind of difficult. But it's decent shortwave radio too. This is honestly, it's a do-it-all little portable radio with group chats and stuff like that. Jet NG, I recommend Super Radio 123, SCF 2010, Ethon, E1, Shortwave 77 for DX, PL 330, 660, 880, 990, H501, S2200, and Ethon Executive. Brian Leeson, I love the LC90. I listen to podcasts on it, and it is backlit. And I now have a WT2 on the way. Maybe looking at the forbidden PTT button would push me to the test. Yeah, I'm going to create something special, and it's going to be kind of interesting. Free to choose. There was something before GPS. Yes, LORAN, L-O-R-A-N, was a long-wave GPS-like system that was global on 100 kilohertz. And that was used by the Navy, the U.S. Navy particularly, to guide submarines and ships. And you could hear that signal everywhere. I remember 100 kilohertz being very powerful with all the kind of weird sounds that it sounded like. And that was a GPS of its day. It used 100 kilohertz on the long wave band. Blogger Die, I don't remember any texting with backlit keys. I'm pretty sure there's one. I think the... Do you have... Blogger Die, you don't have the MP398? You know, the one that is kind of with two speakers like stereo? For some reason, I don't have it here close. For some reason, that rings a bell. And I might be wrong. I might be wrong. Hey, Craig. Take care, my friend. Always nice to have you on board. Blogger died. That SI 4732 red one has the new firmware. That's supposedly the code CW and RTTY. Cool. Kevin Michael wants a Patrolman 9 from the 70s. Brian Lee said the ATS Mini gets a lot of love from from me too. I plugged mine into the little Bluetooth speaker, and it's a good little performer. Pretty cool. Dosanov. If I okay, I meant to get one of those SI 4732s. I never got around. They're very inexpensive, so they're easy to find. Brian Lee's now be looking for you on the WT2. It's coming on Tuesday, and I think I'll be taking a test soon. Cool. RJ Dakota, what band does the WT2 transmit on? So for the radio part of transmitting, it transmits on something like 430 to 5. I don't remember the exact band, but it's UHF. So it does 70 centimeter ham band and a commercial band. It does transmit on, I think, with 5 watts. So when I go here to where the chat groups, the groups are, let me try to find where I was. I need to learn a little more on how to use it properly. What happens is that you have the so here the walkie-talkie standby is on. You have the I'll put that backlight to longer. Okay. Okay, here we go. I hate it when I search on things with this radio and I can't find what I want. So yeah, so it's on the UHF range anyways. You could... The only thing, when I look at the transmit, I need to go more into the menus because I haven't seen like the tones. If you want to like go into a repeater, things like that, and I'm not sure it does. I have the impression it does only simplex, not it's not a dual thing like going on a repeater or broad, like transmitting on one frequency, receiving on another one. Yeah, there's no SSB on this radio because of its the chip they use. DH1AO. We are watching, says NATO, as Russian spy ship Yantar sails along the Norwegian coast. I'm gonna check to see, maybe get a newer SI 4732. Maybe that could be a nice one for Christmas. WS7 Brew, that sounds fun for sure. If you did a review on it, I'll need to watch. Yeah, I will. I didn't do a review yet. I've had it for 2 weeks now, but I will do a review on it, and I will. Actually work more on understanding all of it RJ Dakota, very interesting. Well, here's the problem with the WT2 is that technically, because it is also capable of transmitting on UHF, technically, to have it, you should have a ham license. And the thing is, anybody can get one without, you know. But to do what I just did, the groups, if you want to just go to the talk groups, global groups, create your groups, whatever. That doesn't require a license because that goes through the internet. This is a thing that is an online kind of chat thing. So that doesn't require a license at all. Take care, Ryan Leesner. Kenneth, KW161, nice to have you on board. At the truck stop from a trip to pick up his new 2026 WRTH. Wired Dave, 6897, barely audible. The software, this isn't software that it's not a computer, this is a radio, an actual radio. Because here at the bottom part that you barely see, you got a Yaesu FTDX10. This is a ham transceiver. So what you see there is what I see on the screen of the radio here, which is an hybrid radio. So this is not a piece of software, but it's an actual ham radio transceiver. La Pointe 34, salut, and nice to have you here from Pierrefonds. Season's greetings, VA2HEV. Brian Leesner, the audio doesn't sound bad. No, audio is very surprising on it too for the size it is, honestly. So here's the. I'll give you the links, guys, if you guys want to check it out. Shoyang WT2. This is what they call a multifunctional WT2 walkie-talkie. And this is the link of this device right here. So if you guys want to check it out. You need to be contacted. You need to be connected in some way to the internet to do it. Free to choose. Yeah, it's kind of a Swiss Army knife of radios. Absolutely. If it had SSB, man, that would be the only thing you need, almost. And it's very interesting because it's, when they did the showing LC90 that I just showed. The receiver was noisy when you had Wi-Fi on and stuff like that. In the WT2, they really engineered it well because it's not noisy compared to what the LC90 was at the beginning. So it's pretty amazing. So, if you guys want to try the next one from 7795 is the next frequency. 7795 and CW. I'm going to try it here too. Very strong signal from Brazil on 11780. Let's see if I hear it here. So 7795 is the next frequency, and 5 minutes, 4 minutes for the Russian spy number station in Morse code. Kevin Michael, 5975 ABC World Service. Yep, that was a great frequency. So the Texan 398 MP, but it doesn't have sideband. It's in AM mode only. But that one had backlit keys. There you go, Blagadai. The PL398MP had backlit keypad. Yeah. The H1AO, the island next to our island, still Germany, still has a LoRaWAN tower, but it's not operating anymore. Yeah, most of them have been turned off. There is apparently maybe a couple of them still operating in the world, but for the most part, that LoRaWAN system has been turned off now. Christopher Cullen, is it true that Deutsche Welle is shutting down its what's left of shortwave at the end of December? So on December 31st will be the last time you could hear Deutsche Welle on any shortwave frequencies. They are going to continue on the internet and still have. They have an excellent show, by the way, which is one I listen all the time because I want to know what's happening in Europe. It's called Inside Europe on their website. The podcast Inside Europe is great. It's posted every Thursday, I think, on their website. Brian Leesner, I'll stay here in the background, so not quite good evening. Okay. We'll be looking at the game and looking at here depending on what happens. Christopher Cullen, first heard back in 78 on my Radio Shack Crystal set. GMAC, on the WT2, do you pay a monthly fee like cell service or is it free? You plug it into your Wi-Fi, everything's totally free. You can have a virtual eSIM if you want. I think sometimes there are fees for that. Now, before everybody goes and buy the Texan PL398MP, it's an okay radio, but it's not fantastic, and it doesn't have SSB. Just at least know that. It's very important. Jim Gordon, rotating my radios just now. I'm currently listening to the Sony SW100E. Small but effective, has SSB and sync detection. Pretty cool. And yours has a problematic battery lid. What else do we have? Merry Christmas, J. Watterson 69. Fiddle, thank you so much for the donation. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. What else do we have? Oh man, Science and Engineering on Radio Moscow. That was something. Ryan Leisner says, showing us a great deal with the eSIM they offer. Kevin Michaels, CCTV1 Beijing, China via internet on Cantonese right now. Fiddle, love the show. Thank you so much. Michael, nice to have you here. And thank you for the great show today. Oh, I'm hearing it. I'm not hearing it on the Yaesu with the end-fed antenna, but I am hearing it on the ICOM with the GA490 in the front. This is where I'm happy to have both antennas, because it lets me hear the lower frequencies with the loop, higher frequencies. But I hear 7795 right now here through the noise. So this is from, it's actually transmitted from St. Petersburg, Russia. And this is a spy number station from Russia. Outdoors on the air, nice to have you here. Joyeux Noel, how would you like to be a guest on one of my monthly live streams to inform my listeners on your passion? I would be very happy, Tracy V3TWM. I would be very, very happy. I think you sent me an email and I forgot to answer. Is it an email or I got something this week and I went through fast. I said I'm going to answer it back. You know, there's one thing that I do that I'm really dumb at is answering back at stuff not because I don't want to answer back. It's always because I see it and because I have too many things I'm doing, I put it like on the side. And then it's like, I'll answer back later, and then I forget, and then people get mad, and like, well, you don't answer back. It's like, oh shit, I forgot. I need to have a better management of my replying back to stuff. But I'd be happy out there's on the air. Wire Dave and Tosin Loaf have 11610. Fiddle, thank you for the donation, much appreciated. What do we have? We have Blagadai. I can say men and women travel in the same train car in Russian. Okay. Good. Hi, Jadakota. I think the last DW transmission is in Kigali, Rwanda. Kevin Michael, RTHK 31 Hong Kong, China via internet. VT Radio, got a break for dinner. All right, not very hungry. I guess you were full from that ham radio holiday thing. Wire Dave 7795 is audible. David in Barcelona, Spain. Nice to have you on board, my friend. ¿Cómo está mi amigo? Kevin Michael, Deutsche Welle. Germany closing at the end of the year. Yep. Pretty cool. All right. I'll send me an email. Send me an email again to make sure that I'll answer back promptly. I promise. Sheila, nice to have you here from Belleville, Ontario. Brian Leisner, no 7795 for me. 2 different antennas. So, but hearing it here. There's going to be a next transmission in 17 minutes on 8187. But one thing that this shows is that propagation tonight is not bad at all. Propagation tonight is not bad at all. So this is cool. This is cool. Let me check if there's anything else that I've been missing in terms of. Okay. So let's see if I've got more setup of the day. We got Perry in Sherbrooke, and here's is setup for the day. Oh, that looks nice. Look at that. Laptop and laptop in my show next to a radio. I think that's pretty good. Let me just put that here. So here we go. So that's nice. Nice little setup. Simple but effective setup. So that's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool setup. And what else do we have? Thank you to Broke Tim for the donation. Much appreciated. What else do we have? All right, outdoors on the air. Kevin Michael, the Russian is there, but under the noise. Vlad Lostok is in the range of my area. I hope some stuff from that area will come on. Rogers, 10 Storm, great show. Thank you, Strum, sorry. Thank you for being here. Nice to have you here. Cool. Cool, David. Nice to have you here. Always on the live show. We'll wait till the next number station, and I'll be doing my little round of caregiving duty for the evening before I come back. So what else do we have here in our... Okay, I just clicked something that what the hell did I just do? Oh, here we go. Okay, anything else? Pirates. Un-ID Pirate on 6925 right now. So I hear this. Let's go to 6925. Nothing here. Nothing much happening right now. So we'll go back to CW on 7795. Right here. The still hearing the Morse code spy number station out of Russia. So pretty cool. Kamikaze 76. Nice to have you here from West Michigan. Logadice says, my Christmas present is a new dog containment fence that doesn't flood the band with electromagnetic interference. That's good. That's good. Christopher Cullen, Radio Europe on 6130. So that is one of those stations that is in, of course, Europe. We had a lot of interesting stuff coming through a little earlier on the shortwave bands here. And, yeah, 6130. Radio Europe from the Netherlands. One of those numerous 49-meter band stations that are, some are pirates, but some are kind of legal operations too, which is always kind of interesting when you compare to the fact that here in North America, we don't really have any of that happening much. So, Jim F., nice to have you here from Rhode Island. DH1AO, has anyone of you watched the art on the waterfall when Ukraine modulates sweeps so the Ukrainian coat of arms becomes visible? There's a lot of things, depending on the frequencies where you are in Europe, where a lot of stuff are being shown on the waterfall all the time. David in Barcelona says, using my own ICR 8500 here too. In my case, I'm looking for Euro Pirates and the segment between medium wave and the 160 meter band. Have you, while tuning that, also gone to single sideband and heard those marine stations from like different countries like Sweden and so on? There's a lot of that going on too. Blogger Die, want to try Igloo, Radio Igloo tomorrow, probably on one of the European Kiwi SDRs. Yep, there's a broadcast from Radio Igloo tomorrow. Let me just, let's share a few things that I wanted to share earlier. So, first of all, there's, of course, Radio Igloo transmission that is going to happen. So Radio Igloo will be on the air on December the, let's just, I agree, okay. Where did I get the schedule? If you have it, Blogger Die, to share. I don't have the, quickly don't have the, so there's Radio Igloo 14 December. I see 14 December, which was last week, 2025. So there's one transmission tomorrow too, Blogger Die. Brian Leisner, full body game, already a disaster, which means you'll be watching more of us. I wanted to share the greetings on board transmission coming up this week. So on Wednesday, the 24th, there will be the greetings on board broadcast coming out of different transmitter sites on shortwave. So here's the transmitters, and here's the different frequencies that are going to be used. It's supposed to be from 18 to 21 hours universal time. And so this is a German language broadcast on December the 24th. But with a lot of the a lot of English in it. There's IDs in English. There's messages in English. And a lot of little things in English throughout the broadcast, even though the majority of it is in German. So that's something to check out. So this is 18 to 21 UTC, different transmitter sites. In North America, 15770 is probably going to be the best. That's from WRMI. And the different transmitters used, they're not actually giving you the transmitters here, what transmitter site is going to be, but a lot of the transmitters used are from different areas around the world. So 15770 obviously from WRMI in Florida. I think there's one in Wolferton. There's one in there's a few ones from there's one from Ascension Island, I think, and so on. So check it out. Check out the frequencies. It's always kind of interesting to hear, and these are for seafarers and people at sea. And this is like a once a year transmission going with that. Landy K Waters, it doesn't have any microphone jacks, the Shoyoung WT2. It only has the microphones that are with the radio itself, basically. What else do we have? So there's also coming out as a special transmission this week the SAQ Grimpton Christmas transmission, and this is here's the it's on December the 24th. It's a Christmas Eve transmission from the ACQ Grimpton. Going to be sending out a Christmas message. They have a YouTube stream for that. They're using an amazing device, which is a Alexanderson alternator, which is, I think, the only one left around the world that is still functional. And it's a huge device that will be sending CW. That transmitter is 101 years old, to give you an idea. It's on a very low frequency of 17.2 kilohertz. This is extremely, extremely low in frequency. It's in the long wave range and the very low frequency range, actually. Kiwi SDRs around Europe could technically do go down to 17.2 to listen, so you can try that out. So check that for sure. David says, yes, indeed, Joe, not from other countries, but I've come across SSB Marine broadcasts here from Spain and very same frequency range. All right, because there's a lot of countries in Europe that use that range. Sweden, there's even Greenland. I've been dreaming to hear Greenland possibly in the 3 megahertz range. They are using 2 or 3 frequencies in the 3 megahertz range, and I've always been kind of hoping that someday I would be able to hear something out of Greenland. And there's Iceland, and I mean Austria, and there's so many European countries that are using that. When I use Kiwi SDRs around Europe, I hear some of those. I've heard some from Italy. I've heard some from a lot of different countries, which is kind of interesting. So Radio Igloo would be technically at 17 UTC on 6195. And I think you're right, because I think we have it in our International Radio Report show lineup for tomorrow. I think you're right. And Chicopee Radio, tons of New York Pirates on FM. Yeah, we talk about those that get arrested. Well, not arrested, kind of, they get FCC warnings all the time. Bert says, I may try. I've never, Bert, if you are capable of going there, I have never heard of anyone in North America who has ever received 17.2 kilohertz transmission. It's something like 200 kilowatts of power that they're using. It's pretty powerful. And but I've never heard of anybody in North America getting 17.2 kilohertz here. So if you do make a video, I think you'd be the first one that I know of that would ever hear that on 17.2 and decode it. It's a nice Christmas greetings message that they're sending out if you can decode it. In 3 minutes, 8187, guys. 8187 is the next. It's the next. Moscow Pirate. 8187. So let's go there. 8187. We'll see if we can hear that in CW. 8187. And see if we can get that Russian number station on that frequency. 8187. What else do we have? DH1AO visited Grimton in the early 2000s. Very interesting. Oh, it must be. That looks so amazing. RJ Dakota YouTube channel called TV Radio 72 has done scans on FM and says he has come across several pirates on this FM range. Yeah, there's a lot of pirates on the FM band, especially in many parts of the US like New York. I believe the only radios I have that go down to 17.2 might be the SDRs. I think the SDR Play SDR goes down to 17.2. David, yep, sounds interesting, Joe. I might have to do some DXing on that front to see if I can find some of those marine meteorological information signals from elsewhere here in Europe. Now, I'm sure you probably, if you don't have too much noise, you probably would be able to hear them. I wouldn't be surprised. So, are we going in a few seconds here? Morse code. Yes, indeed. I hear it on the Yaesu and on the ICOM together. It's a stereo number station right now. But I hear it. Wire Dave 8187, good signal in Texas. Brett says there's a Kuyu out in the Azores that picks up a lot of long wave stuff. Might be able to hear it. So, anyways, it's in Sweden, so maybe you can use a Kiwi SDR also up there in like Sweden, Norway, and the vicinity of these Nordic countries. So as the Russian number station is going on here, I will be going to do my caregiving duties, which will take a few minutes, And I am back, guys, and not long. So 8187, some Morse code. This is coming out of St. Petersburg, Russia. And back in a few minutes, guys. So we're back. And it's still going on, the Morse code. So it's not... It's really the noise. I'm hearing it on both. It's really the noise floor, because if I didn't have that noise floor, it would be an easy copy, actually, here. It's really the noise floor that's making it tough to copy for me, because no noise floor, man. This in the 80s would have been easy to get. So, hope you guys are enjoying the show. Okay, let's go here. And slowly go back. Here we go. Okay. Tim Michael, 12365. VMC, Charlottesville, Australia, with SSB voice weather. Pretty cool. Joe H. was lucky to be off from work on December 17 and heard Deutsche Welle in Arabic to Sudan. Pretty cool. Pretty cool, because only a few days left of Deutsche Welle. Deutsche Welle. Rock and Rod 8186 upper sideband is strong in New York. That's good. Tosanov here's 8187 weekly. Truck Schreiber lived in Philly many moons ago. I know what you mean. Tosanov, it's so weak I can barely tell if it's just a plane carrier or CW. Kevin Michael, I'm getting facts on 17.2 kilohertz. David, as for the noise, well, here in my QTH, I've got quite a bit of it, especially that low in frequency. I guess one day I'll have to go portable and find a spot away from all the QRM. You know, one thing that I would have to do and find a place to do it is a urban nighttime de-expedition. Tuning the bands after midnight somewhere where I could, first of all, be, because you can't be anywhere. You can't be in a park in the city here without after midnight. All the parks are kind of closed or shut down. And I mean, it's not that there's that many, you know, verification, but you'll have the occasional police car coming through just saying, well, you're not allowed to be here. They're usually very polite and all. But, you know, I can just set up. And I guess even if I show them the radio and say, well, I was just, you know, kind of curious and tuning around and making videos for a YouTube channel, they'll be kind of nice. But they're still going to tell me to go, to go away. But I would be curious to do, and as far as being attacked or anything, know where you guys, Montreal is such a safe city in general that I probably could be in the middle of the night with radios and no one will, you know, either bother, or if somebody talks to me, it's some drunk guy or you know, whatever, basically. But that'd be kind of fun to do a, you know, nighttime de-expedition. What's after midnight on the bands in a low noise environment? I'm sure it could be a very interesting one. JJ Endo, as I have here, does anyone really listen to long wave specifically? Seems like making an antenna is too much hassle. It depends what you're looking for. If you're looking for just tuning around, DXing long wave, non-directional beacons, stuff like that, some people do. In Europe, it's different. In Europe, you have some stations from Europe, the Middle East, on long wave that could be worth checking out. And there are some long wave DXers of the East Coast, particularly in North America, that will go to the length of, you know, building these antennas to hear the, you know, transoceanic long-wave stations from Europe, Middle East, and so on, from Algeria. Definitely. It depends what you're looking for. Depends. It's all the fun of radio. Depends what radio is, what part of radio is actually exciting to you, I'd say. And Jeff, nice to have you here from sunny New Jersey, and to NZZ. Wholly unaware. At least you could have had Paul take over while he's gone. Well, I would have loved to, but he just followed me and said, "Hey, I'm hungry. I want to have some food." Christopher Cullen coming here, 8187. Kevin Michael, I'm getting. Okay, what are you getting? So you're getting what? Some facts or something? Kevin Michael. And Jeff, when I was a kid, I used a Slinky as an antenna. Yeah, that was a popular thing. And I remember seeing a lot of magazines and stuff talking about Slinky antennas, basically. Lagardère, yes, Slinky antennas. Yeah. It's funny because I had a Slinky. And back in the 80s, it was a really the metal Slinky. And I never thought about using it as an antenna per se. So Jet NG talking about his medium wave picks so far this season. And it's early. I mean, we're the longest night now tonight, so, Bert, yeah, be careful not to be arrested out of that night. No, they would not arrest me. They would just, be, saying, don't be here. I remember one Christmas, I was with my nephews that were 8, 9 years old, 10 years old. And we decided to go make a snowman and then go to the playground. And I guess it was 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning on Christmas Eve to Christmas Day. And a police car passed by and said, you guys shouldn't be here. Nothing happened. They just looked at us as you guys shouldn't be here. It's all right, we're going home. Sorry. And cops here are pretty relaxed. If you look like you're a normal, non-violent, and nothing bad can happen, they just look at you and it's go home, okay? It's a rule. It's not that they want to. It's just they're telling you, well, it's a rule and we're supposed to enforce it, and that's it. And I totally understand that. I mean, yeah, I got it. You're a cop. You're supposed to be telling me I can be here. And that's it. But never had anything. At least in the I would say coming back from bars. I used to go to bars that sometimes, because I was a little too drunk, instead of taking a taxi or taking any way home that would be a bus or whatever, I would walk home. And sometimes some of those bars were an hour away, and I'd walk for an hour, and I would go through parks. And it happened a few times. I went through parks, and cops just oh, you're not supposed to be here. I said, well, I'm sorry. I'm just it's the fastest way to go home, going through the park rather than going around the park. And I mean, I've never had anything bad happen. They're just yeah, all right, walk fast. Drunks on WT2. Oh, I'm pretty sure there will be. What else do we have? And Jeff, says QRZ.com, great website for QSL cards and station IDs so far. for AM info and stuff. Yeah. Black I get 3 non-directional beacons here in Virginia with a 20-foot antenna, and one of them with internal ferrite. You know, here I'm actually sad. You know what? Tonight and tomorrow is the longest night. I should do that. I should take a walk, and it's not too cold, and bring a portable with me and see if I can, in a very quiet environment, still hear one non-directional beacon. Because here the ones that were at the airports are all now shut down, and even the ones around here at airports that were out of town are also shut down. So last time I tried a slow, and I really went slow, a very slow scan of the long wave band to check for non-directional beacons. I heard zero. Absolutely nothing. The only thing I still hear when I go down below 500 kilohertz right now, is the Navtex transmissions on 490 and 518 kilohertz. In fact, the day before yesterday, I think Thursday night I tuned 518, so 517 upper sideband, and I left the ICOM on that frequency, and I heard 7 or 8 Navtex marine transmissions. So it's pretty much the only thing left that I hear below 500 kilohertz. Not even below, it's above 500 kilohertz. 490, which is in French language here. I heard 1 or 2. One from Rivière-au-Renard on the east side of the province of Quebec, near the Gaspé region. But I'm not getting pretty much nothing anymore. For you to choose, if you want to do a nighttime de-expedition, it would be easier in the country. Yeah, the countryside is better, but I don't have a car, so that's the problem of the countryside for me. I don't have a car, because if I had a car, yeah, that'd be an easy one, because outside you can go into the countryside and, you know, just do whatever you want. Nobody will ever tell you anything. This is what I miss of going up north to La Conception, where we were when I was younger. Mike B, is Mr. Paul like Garfield the cat? He does. Does he like lasagna also? No. He doesn't really eat much of my table, you know, my regular food. He might eat chicken. The other day I tried to give him shrimps. He didn't want them. I tried to give him salmon. He didn't want it. He likes tuna. He will eat tuna. But he's very, very finicky about what he wants to eat. And he seems to enjoy better his cat food than anything else. I got one particular can. The funny thing is he doesn't like salmon. But I have this little, very fancy can of salmon for cats, which has also a sauce with it. When I open that, he goes completely nuts. And I'm like, okay, you like the salmon with that sauce thing in cat food, but you don't want to have anything to do with salmon, you know, bought at the fish store, you know, bought at the grocery or anything. That's weird. He's very particular. Toslov, you could probably use one of those audio band Whistler radios with a BFO to hear 17.2. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if those would work there, because they tend to be very low. Even the ones for the Whistlers and stuff are even like below 10 kilohertz very often. 2 hands, 1 dial. Nice to have you here from Wisconsin. Black and Eye, Walmart, and Target stores sell Slinkies under $4. So, I haven't had a I haven't seen a slinky anywhere in a long time. Well, now 8187 has stopped. They stopped pretty quickly, 5-6 minutes. So you might have just missed it. Two hands, one dial. Blogger Dice, some place called Home Science Tools sells an extra long one for $9.95. Wow. Gilles Navarre, Roaring 2020s. Nice to have you here. Merry Christmas. Kevin Michaels got 328 kilohertz. British Columbia. Beacon. Broadcast Beacon. Sorry. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Yeah, I guess they have to be metal because there needs to be a minimum of weight for it to work. Plastic would be too light. I'm thinking. What else do we have? DH1AO. I am the only licensed ham on the island here. Got some good pileup while doing Islands on the Air contests. Cool. Cool. Yeah, Islands on the Air. Absolutely. If you're on an island, that probably is popular. Landy K Waters says 119 is the same price that showing itself is selling it. Yep. It is a good price. It is the price of the WT2. 119. David, there's a place not far from my QTH that I've been to several times at night with gear for HF, long wave, medium wave. Still in urban area, so there's still some noise, but but in any case less than my QTH. Yeah, I could easily go to the park, one of the parks here, and I'd probably be okay anyways. Bill Penna, YWA from Petawawa, Ontario, 517 to 515. Yeah, I remember hearing it at some point. I wonder here if I could hear anything on. I'm going to try it here. I'm going to go and do a slow long wave scan here. Nope, nothing. And yeah, there's a lot of noise here, but nothing right now on medium wave, long wave. DH1 has AOS SSB 147 kilohertz SSB. It's a German seawater RTTY station. Oh, that's interesting. RJ Dakota, my cat doesn't like cat food that is fish based. It will eat anything else. Kevin Michael would not be out in the middle of the night with my radio. I would get jumped in these days. Back in the 90s, I would be out in the middle of the night with my portable. Not these days. Yeah, it depends where you are. Here in Montreal, it's like, you know, I could be out at 2 in the morning in the park in the darkness with my Texan S2200X. Nothing will ever happen to me. I'll just come back tired. That's it. Tosalov's got a homemade Whistler receiver, but it only works well out away from power lines. Yeah, you got to be in a very, very quiet environment. Absolutely. Emono Doherty, nice to have you here, my friend. Paul is great. Absolutely. Mike B, you were asking for some radio pictures. I emailed you a picture. All right. Let's go and check it out. Go and check it out here. And we have Brian Leisner that has my S2200X mod. So yeah, with these that's good idea. With the little feet to put the radio up at an angle. I totally agree. That is a great idea for the S2200X. Totally agree. And we have Mike B that has a picture of today's radios. So today's got Courtesan, no, an XH Data D109, and he's got what is a Texan PL330. He's got the AN200 loop for medium wave and some earphones. So here's the picture. Pretty cool. Pretty cool here. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for sharing. Always nice to see what people are using also. With their in their shack, you know, and what they do with the radios and stuff. So thanks for sharing. JetNG WHKW is 1220 in Cleveland. Tosselove, they should make mice flavored cat food. Yeah, that's always one of the funny things I've seen on Facebook is why isn't there mice flavored cat food if cats actually go after mice? I guess they go after mouse and after mice only if they're really, really hungry. Matt, MDK2 Radio. Season's greetings from Denver, Colorado. Nice to have you on board, my friend, as usual. Always cool to have you here. DH1EO, for those who don't know, the web SDR at University of Twente is a real-time source for information of shortwave frequencies. Oh yeah, it is an amazing a receiver, an amazing place to go to listen to radio. Absolutely. Pretty amazing. Let's check out here. What's on the air? Any pirates that have... So the voice of Spike is on 6935. Let's go and check that out. 6.935. Yeah, it's not very strong, but I hear it and the noise. So the voice of Spike, 6935 upper sideband. Weak here, but it's there. Okay, Michael, 27025 CB from Alabama and the South. Always the same people. Let's see here if the upper frequencies are open. I'm going to go and tune around a little. There we go. AM. Let's do 27. Anything here? It was very quiet on the high frequencies of the CB band here. Let's see what's up on the 25 meter band. As we're in winter now. Radio Marti on 11930. $11,880. There's no audio, but 11880 must be Radio Havana, Cuba right now. But they just have no audio at this time, which is unfortunate. Hearing something weak on 11810 that seems to come from far away. 11810 at this time is, we're at what, 2300 UT. So that would be China National Radio 8, I guess. Brazil is extremely good on 11780. Really good signal. Haven't tuned to their English language 5 minutes in a little while. Let's put myself in upper sideband and see if I hear anything special here. It's not very strong, but I just heard some. Eleven 396 is an aeronautical frequency. New York air traffic control on 11396. Eleven 387 HFDL. If you have HFDL decoder, you can hear this data, which is high frequency data link. So New York 11396 coming in pretty well with some air traffic control stuff. Hey Mike WX50, happy holidays. Nice to have you here from Arkansas. Kev Michael, yep. Pirate Band 69. I would even go even larger. I would go like 6850 to 7000 for Pirate Radio. Toast and Love 6935, but too weak to listen. DH1AO has a 1665 kilohertz Dutch Pirate. RJ Dakota 6935 is clear but weak. Kevin Michael 11800 to 12 megahertz China. Well, there's a lot of stuff there. It's a 25 meter band. Craig Martinetti, sorry that I have not been commenting. I'm eating my Chinese dinner. Well, bon appetit. Michael Brazil, yeah, okay. RJ Dakota 11780, always super clear if it's on. Nice right now. The H1EO has 11780. Jet NG, there's a lot of 1230s at night from Glen Falls, New York to Maine to Pennsylvania. WS7I Homebrew decoding 11387 right now on my Kiwi. Yeah, Kiwi SDRs do decode HFDL. Absolutely. Why would air traffic control use tones? So these are cell calls, selective calling. So what happens is that your plane, you can't have static like this all the time, and you can't have useless communications all the time. So what they do is they will use a set of tones. So when the plane goes up, they will talk, they will set the tone for the plane, and that set of tones will, in the cockpit, light up a little indicator lamp that's going to say the air traffic control wants to talk to you. So that's what the cell call does. It simply unlocks the radio, pushes a little light that says air traffic control wants to talk to you. And so what happens is that now they'll be able to, they'll just say, oh, okay, so this is what it sounds like. It's a set of tones, and each plane has its unique tone to it. And so that will unlock the radio, and they will have communication. So like that, you don't have to have static in the cockpit, and you don't have to, go crazy. The tones will unlock the radio. Sometimes they have to do it several times to make sure that the radio on board the plane will lock properly to the set of tones that were given up. So that's part of the communication system that they use. So they're sending them several times here. So, like the Radical Squadron, nice to have you here, by the way. Says it's a form transponder, work on both systems. So call is usually a 4-code system. So yeah, they're assigned letters in general. And so this will just unlock the radio basically and allow communications to go through. So if a plane senses its cell call, what's going to happen is that the air traffic control knows which aircraft is calling back. So that is kind of a system that helps identify the plane that's on the air, and the aircraft, the company, and everything behind it. So it's kind of an interesting, neat thing. You gotta be quick on this because air traffic control on HF is slowly moving to other systems, satellite, for example. at some point there might be no more HF air traffic control stuff to listen to, which is sad. So to give you guys an idea, I'm going to do a little something here. I'm going to go to a Kiwi SDR, and so Kiwi SDR, not okay. And I'm gonna open up a receiver. Say I'm gonna put up the receiver in. So this is St. John's, Canada. Here, I'm gonna open that one. I'm gonna put it on 11.387. Or even better. Well, I could even better, but okay, I'll put it there. 11.387. And the extensions I'm going to use the HFDL extension. There it goes. So the HFDL extension will open up a map, and let me choose another receiver that might be better for that. I'm going to go here. And I'm going to go to use a, I'm going to use the Lamont Alberta Kiwi V6JY. Go here, choose HFDL. So I'm going to go to 11.387. And I'm going to go to HFDL, and it's settings. Where's HFDL here? Oh, it doesn't have HFDL on that one. Oh, that's interesting. I'm hearing tons and tons of HFDL here, but in the extensions, it doesn't have it. I thought they all had them. Oh, this is interesting. So not all of the Kiwi SDRs have HFDL. So, all right. Let's try this one. And that is interesting. I thought they all had HFDL. So upper sideband 11.387. Extension, HFDL, there you go. Now, so what you get, oh, okay, I just stopped the extension, sorry. HFDL, so let me just go here. There's a world map, and for some reason, maybe the browser I'm using. Okay, let me try another browser. I think the browser I'm using doesn't work well. Oh, yeah, I could use yours, absolutely, Bert. That's true. I'm just gonna open a new window because it doesn't seem to be working well. Kiwi SDR. And I'm going to go into QSDR and then go here, map, and choose a QESDR. Because I was using Microsoft Edge, that seems to be a little off, and so This is going to go here. Let me choose anyone here. And we're going to go to the QSDR. Upper sideband. 11387. See if the extension works well here. Because it didn't work well on... Okay, let me just... display all. Okay, here we go. So this is that way. Select. So I'm on this frequency. There's an option I need to click. Test unclear previous display. Oh, display. Do this, okay. Sorry guys, I haven't done this in a long time, so I'm a little because I wanted to show you guys how it shows up in the map and where you can actually, because the HFDL, where the hell did I see map? There's a map option that I, for some reason, can't find on the page. Auto off. How do I freaking use the map? Because anyways, it shows the location of planes on a map, which is what I'm unable to do right now. Sorry. But, so you have to choose a frequency you're going to listen to, Kevin Michael, and that frequency is going to have some data on it. And the data on it will give you, if you have a map view, it will give you the position of the airplane on a map view. Drop each of the options will show map. Oh, okay. Thanks, Bert. I'm going to try to get back to this in a few seconds. Hey, Cosmic Lettuce. Nice to have you on board. And, yep, the December solstice tomorrow. So we're pretty much in the longest nights of the year right now for radio listening. Depending on the frequencies, this is good. New York's good on 11396. Okay, I'm going to check it out. So I click on the drop-down menu, and I'm going to check it out in a few seconds. Because what I saw was the text, which is not what I want. I want to have the map. So, okay. Hey, Craig Martinetti, take care, my friend. Stay safe. Always nice to have you on board. Let me just go back to Kiwi SDR. We'll go back to the options. Because I want to show you guys what it looks like. That's why I'm taking that time. So HFDL. High frequency data link. So let's check it out here. So if I click here, because I remember I got it, but it's been such a long time since I used a Kiwi SDR to do it. I, on Windows, use HFDL PC, HFDL software, which does it. So 11387 is one of the frequencies. One of the several frequencies where this happens. And then you take the HFDL extension. And then you go to upper right. Where don't I see the upper right? So HFDL and So by default it's text mode. And the frequencies in use. Oh god. You know when you try to do stuff and people are watching, you just don't do stuff. HFDL decoder. For some reason, I'm missing stuff, and maybe it's... Oh, I think I got it now. Here we go. My resolution of my display was... So show map. Here we go. Here we go. So, do this, and I don't know why the map isn't displaying right now. Now I got the map, but the map isn't displaying correctly. It's like displaying just like all weird. Which is map again. Come on. Messages. Map. Show day, night. I don't care. Alright, this is not cool. I don't know why the map isn't displaying. Let me just choose the same thing. Once again, I'll choose, could be the browser. I hate it when you're trying to do a demonstration and it doesn't work the way you want. So here we go. Here we go. I'm going to go here on Chrome. I'm going to go to upper sideband 11387 kilohertz extension. HFDL, and this extension right there, I will ask to show the map. Here we go, this is the map, and there we go, guys. Now it's not perfect because I'm moving the map around, it's not happy, but is there a refresh option on this thing? I hate it when it doesn't work well. I had a beautiful map. HFDL. And map option. There we go. So, guys, to show you what it looks like when you're in HFDL, this is what it looks like. So the different digital data on 11387 actually will show you on HFDL, and you choose the map option, the different aircraft positioning on a map. So this is what I wanted to show you guys. Apparently when I zoom in, it just goes haywire, so I won't touch anything. So this is one of the frequencies. 11387 is very, very active, but there's a lot of other frequencies for HFDL. So the high frequency data link will give the positioning of all the planes on the map like this, including the plane identification itself. So, you know, AM for American Airlines and stuff like that. You will know which plane, where it is, where the data came from. So it's kind of cool. So you have here, I have chosen a frequency for obviously it looks like more the Caribbean and so on. But you have, you know, North Atlantic, you got some from everywhere. It depends on the frequency you'll be choosing because there's several HFDL frequencies. On the, by the way, if I go on EIBI space frequency listing, and I actually type in, I think they have it, HFDL, it's going to give you all the HFDL frequencies from different parts around the world that are active. So here you see 124, which means that HFDL frequencies, there's a lot of them. So do check out all the frequencies that are available, because each frequency will give you different aircraft from different areas around the world, as long as you receive the frequency though, because it's like it's shortwave. But this is what it looks like, and this is what it gives you as an output. So you see here, there was one here up here, FDX, and so this is pretty cool, honestly. And you can search for the aircrafts and all of the different information on it. So HFDL, one of the cool things you can do with the HF, air traffic control info and stuff that you can get. So hope you guys check it out and enjoy that, because it is definitely kind of cool to have this information on the radio. No, 13560 Toast and Loaf is local to you. This is a scientific instrumentation and RFID tag frequency. So everything you hear on 13560 is close to you. So if you don't hear anything at one point, you have it's simply because there's nothing around you close to you that is broadcasting anything. So yeah, thanks for sharing. You know why, Bert, I wasn't seeing it? Because I was using a resolution that actually a screen size for better text viewing. I couldn't get the whole screen where it was the map thing. And now I had to kind of shrink all this stuff, and it's like, oh, look at that, it's there on the upper right. I couldn't see it before because the map was kind of over it. So that's why I wasn't seeing it. What do we have here? Let's check it out. Hey, Prasad. Nice to have you on board. These are my two new acquisitions, a Prentice J618, MFM radio with Bluetooth reception and transmission. So you can hear on your wireless headphones, earphones. So nice to have you on. Do two Klublet AM FM shortwave radio, good on FM shortwave medium wave 4, medium wave spore, either a slow EGC Christmas gifts to myself. All right, so let's check it out. Let's check it out. So these are our friends' radios. Here we go. Oops, it changes to, let's see here, let's put it like this. So anyways, these are the radios that our friend just got. Interesting, these are kind of radios and brands we don't at all hear or see here in North America, which is very, very unique, honestly. So it's nice to have you on board. What else do we have? Jet NG. Okay. DH1AO 11930 Radio Marti Greenville making it to Europe. Kevin Michaels on 17919 right now. Cosmic Lettuce -4. Blah. Not bad. Not bad. It's for here. For here, it's like you're 24 Celsius. It's the same. Yeah, the QE interface is a bit weird at times. I've got to Google search how to do certain things. I'm breaking for dinner, so take care, my friend. Always nice to have you on board. The Wind, NE8RH. Nice to have you here. Yeah, there's several of those, what they call them, graveyard frequencies, where it's like you tune, and there's a background noise on AM, which is like all the low-powered stations all together there, where you got to be very patient and interesting. David, see you next time. Pretty cool, David. So you're looking at the HFDL stuff. Pretty cool. So it's nice. So with the map, you see the planes that are identifying with the HFDL, which is pretty cool. I use a PC software here, so when I tune 11387, I actually power on the PC and have PC HFDL, which shows it and decodes it directly on my computer, so I don't have to go on a Kiwi SDR to do it. But you know, this is a cool thing about Kiwi SDRs. If you're trying to decode different modes, and you know what, let's go to a Kiwi SDR. I want to show you guys as you know, we're doing demonstrations here. So Kiwi SDR, and we're gonna go to here we go. I'm gonna search for a Kiwi SDR. Here we're going to go to our friend Bert's Kiwi SDR down in here we go. So in Virginia. So let me go to here, do a display capture again. So when you are tuning the bands on the panel where you have frequency and all the controls here, there's extensions, and extensions mean there's all sorts of stuff. AL, color map, CW decoder, CW skimmer. There's DRM decoding if you're trying to decode a DRM signal, for example. There is DRM decoding. There's the DX spots, fax decoding, FT8, FT4, HFDL. There's all sorts of decoding info, Navtex if you want, slow scan television. There's a lot of things going on. So all you have to do is, once you choose a frequency where there's something to listen to. So for example here, let's see if 4609 main upper sideband. I don't know if it's on right now. Yeah, so there is a very weak weather fax here that is on a station. Do you have weather fax decoding here? That's one thing. Yeah, fax is here. So this will open a window where it's going to try to decode whatever signal you're trying to listen to on. So you'll see here the decode is there and happening on the screen. So whatever frequency, whatever you're trying to decode, to tune in, if you're going on like 14230, an example, upper sideband. This is where slow scan TV is. So let's see here. Slow scan television right here. So we'll see if it's going to decode whatever we're trying to decode right now. 14 to 30. I might not have to. So this is a slow scan TV that just stopped from a ham station. You guys might not hear it right now because I'm not choosing the correct. And I won't choose the correct because there's going to be something happening. But anyways, anything happening, there are decoders for a lot of stuff. And all you have to do is choose which decoder you want. Same here. If you go on, let's say 10136. That's FT8. Then you go to the FT8, FT4 window. A little too fast. Here we go. Here we go. So it opens the FT8, FT4 window, which will give you the FT8 decoding information as soon as it's all decoded. So at some point there should be something happening. Here we go. So what you have here is time in UTC, signal to noise ratio, the frequency, the delay time, because your clock needs to be very precise for a good decode. This is the frequency difference, and then you have the decoding. What you hear is on the right side. So this example here is, we just heard CT7OAUT, and he's talking or contacting W7WIA. So what's in green, or what's on the right side, is what you're hearing all the time. So there's a lot of things you can do with the Kiwi SDRs, and you don't have to, go through the hassle of trying to get all of that working on your computer, or it's already there on these Kiwi SDRs for you to use. What else do we have? Tosanov, the Kiwi SSTV extension works pretty good. Better than my SSTV app works. It's a question of sending it right, because your what are you using as an app, Tosanov, just out of curiosity, for a slow scan TV? Just out of curiosity. So I'm hearing, still hearing New York here on 11396. Let's go down. So of course the HFDL is right here, very strong. I got a very good signal out of it. Let's say what we have on 10 megahertz. And put it in AM mode, 31 meter band. So weak WWV here. WRMI on 9955. 9930 is, I think, WTWW. A very strong signal from 9900. 9900, wow. Yeah, the problem with CW decoders is that they, a computer likes very specific timing. So when it's sent by another computer, it's great. When it's sent by a human, that little variation is often not very good. So 9900, extremely strong in what sounds like Mandarin Chinese. So 9900 is the CNR1 jammer fire drake. So this is a jammer for Radio Taiwan, actually. So what you hear is the jammer from China on 9900, which is very strong. Spain still very good on 9690. Thank God they got back on that frequency. WRMI 9455. WRMI 9395. WINB in 9265. Pretty good. So it's kind of interesting to see what we're hearing tonight on the bands. So yeah, you know, CW, that's the problem with CW, is that our brain is good at it because our brain can adjust to whatever speed. It doesn't require CW to be, you know, specific speed. It just understands. It's like a language. It understands whatever you're sending it in Morse code, and works with it. You know what? That's where I think AI would help computers to code CW. AI will be capable of doing what our brain does, adjusting itself to the speed of the incoming code. So, hey guys, we've been on for almost 4 hours now. I'm going to say goodbye next week, Sunday, the 28th. Don't forget, it's not Saturday next week. Sunday, the 28th. Santa is going to be here. Surprise, surprise. If you love what I do, Super Chat, PayPal. If you like what I do, come on, guys. It really is important. Without your donations, I wouldn't be here. It's as simple as that. So that is important. So I hope to get my DP666 this week. I hope to do more videos on the Shoyang WT2 and talk a lot more about it. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays to everyone. And hope you have a great one for this week. And Sunday, next Sunday, the 28th, we are going to have Santa in the house. 2 International DX Club memberships are going to be given away to those that donated. And also, there will be a surprise box sent to one of you guys. Take care, people. Take care, guys. Love you all. Stay safe. Merry Christmas once again. Love you. And Santa's going to be here next week. I won't. Santa's